All right, so we have another flexibility mobility class. We are touching the foundations today of within some of those stretches. So we're just going to start. Go ahead and join me on your mat. We're just going to start with a little bit of breathing. So go ahead and lay it back. One hand on that stomach, one hand on that chest. And we're just going to breathe in for 4, out for 4. Allowing that breathing to correlate with that body. Find that connection. In for 4, out for 4. Good. Breathing in through your nose. Pushing all that air out. Last one. In for 4, out for 4. Go ahead and rock and roll it up. Can't talk today. We're going to go into some cat and cows. So we're going to arch up through that back. Then we are going to drop through that low back, extending that gaze forward. So getting into the foundations today of some of those movements, we are slowing things down. Finding that stretch. Arching up. Round through that back. Drop it, looking through. Good. Arch up. Drop through. Final one. You're arching up. Tucking that chin. Looking through. Good. So go ahead and pop those feet up. We're going to walk it in. Go ahead and stand it up. So now we are doing some roll downs. So we're going to tuck our chin and we're just going to vertebrae by vertebrae roll it down. Soft bend through those legs as far as we can stretch. That upper body is hanging. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to slowly roll it back up, allowing that chin to stay tucked. Then we're opening up through that chest, raising that chin. We're going to do that again. We're going to do it 2 more times. Tucking that chin, slow and controlled, all the way down. Good, allowing that body to hang, getting into that stretch. And then we're going to slow roll it up, keeping that chin tucked, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up. Open up. Good. We're going to do that 1 more time. Tuck that chin. Roll. Slow and controlled on that roll down. Each time you roll down, you should be able to get a little deeper into that stretch. Soft bend through those legs. And then we're going to slow roll it all the way back up. Good. Opening up. Very good. All right. We're going to walk it out to high plank. We're going to drop those knees. We're going to open up those knees. We are going into a moving child's pose. So open up those hips a little bit, open up those knees, and we're going to shift forward. And then we're going to sit back into it. shift forward, sitting back, good. Forward and backward. We have one more. Good. Popping it back to plank, walking it in, rolling it up. All right, we are going to start with our shoulders. We're going to be standing. So wrists are going to be facing in. You're going to raise that hand up overhead, and then we're going to rotating that external rotation back. So wrists are facing in. We want that bicep to be right by that head. Then we're going to externally rotate behind that body, bringing it back to neutral. Up overhead, external rotation. Good. Just trying to find that controlled rotation through those shoulders. Slow and controlled. Good. Really focusing on the slowdown today. All the way up. Slow and controlled. We're bracing through our core, through our torso. We're moving to that other side now. We are up. Externally rotate out. Good, bringing it back to center. So as we extend it up overhead, that bicep meets that ear. Then we're extending it back behind. Slow and controlled. Again, really hitting those foundations today. Within the stretching all the way up. And we're gonna rotate back and behind. Good, last one. Brace that core through that torso. Good. All right, we're moving to those hips. So you're gonna bring that knee up. We're gonna rotate it out for that abduction. And then we are going to circle it back around. So it goes up, out, circle it back around. Then we're gonna reverse it. Back around, out, back in. If you need to grab a chair, brace yourself against that wall, whatever is going to keep you upright, not falling over. So we're up, rotating out, back down. Then we're gonna extend it back out and up, opening up those hips. I'm gonna go from that side angle. I'm gonna brace myself against that wall. Knee up, abduction out, circle it back, circle it, abduct, back down. Good. So think about those, if you do Pilates a lot, Jenny does these on all fours. Hip up, knee up, rotate out, around. Then we're reversing. Good. We have one more. Drive that knee up, abduct out, rotate around, then we reverse. Back to center. Good. So I'm going to go from the front for the second side. Again, I'm bracing myself against that wall. You can have that chair. Knee up, out, rotate around, circle it back. So then we're out, circling it back to that start. Good. Up, out, back around. Just as bad as Jenny when it comes to counting. Counting in my head, I should be counting out loud. May help to keep those sides even. Circle it back, around. Good. I have a freshman that's in track. And you better believe that I preach the foundations and finding those stretches, even on those days that there's no meets. We stretch a lot at night together. Truly beneficial for all ages. All right, we're gonna do last one here. Rotate out, circle around. Then we're gonna reverse, back up and lower. Good, now we're moving to our ankles. Again, you can brace yourself, chair, wall. We are just rotating through those ankles. We're making perfect circles, okay? So just think about those perfect circles through that ankle. Good. And we're gonna reverse. Again, as we go through these, if you feel anything that's sticky, you'll kind of feel it catch a little bit. Just work through that. Good. And release. So a lot of times through my hips, I'll find those sticky areas. One side may be more sticky than the other. Perfectly normal. Just kind of work through it. Find it and continue. Reverse that ankle, circle, perfect circles with those toes. Think about tracing circles with those toes. Good. And stop. We're gonna go to our wrists. You're gonna make fists with those wrists. And again, we're making circles with those wrists. One's going clockwise, one's going counterclockwise right now. We're gonna switch here in a second, go in the opposite way. Again, perfect circles through those wrists and switch. Wrist circles again. We're reversing. Slow and controlled through those movements, through those circles. Really concentrate on that controlled movement, that controlled rotation. And release. Good. All right, we're going to take it to the floor. We have those spiders with that reach and extend. So you're going to be in that high plank position. You're going to draw that single leg in, up. We are going to rotate, reach and extend through that chest, bringing it back to center, stepping it back to plank. Right foot or that left foot, whichever one you started with, comes forward, that opposite side. We're opening up, reaching, extend, looking through those fingertips. Good. Back to plank. Right or left foot, that opposite foot steps forward. We're opening up. Reach and extend. Good. Back to plank. Opposite leg, same thing. If you need to get some of those wrist circles at the top, keep those wrists opened. Back to plank, one more each side. Drive that foot forward into that spider. Opening up. Good. Back to plank. Opposite foot, last side. Open up that chest, reach and extend. And we're coming back to plank. Go ahead and drop those knees. We're gonna sit into that pretzel, that 90-degree. We're gonna do those hip rotations, okay? So you can have those hands down. We're gonna be sitting, here's what I found. We're gonna be sitting upright. We're gonna rotate to the front and to the side, okay? I'm gonna bring more to center for you. Open, drop. Opening up through those hips. Good, sitting nice and upright. Focus on that posture. Getting into that mobility. Again, working through any sticky areas that you run into. One side might feel a little more sticky than the other. Good. Last one. Back to center before we release. Good. All right, we have a couple exercises left. We are going to thread the needle. So that right arm tucks through as we drop that shoulder, keeping those hips high. Feeling that rotation. That stretch. Good. Bringing it back to center. Opposite arm now threads through. We're dropping into that opposite. Shoulder opening up through those shoulder blades, keeping those hips high. Good. Back to center. Thread it through. Drop. Hips stay high. Back to center. Thread it through. Good. Focus on connecting that breath to that stretch. Last time each side, drop it through, thread it. Back to center. Thread it through. Hips stay high. And center. Good. All right, last one we're gonna do is a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So we're gonna bring that single knee up. That opposite leg stays, hip stays parallel to that knee. And then we're gonna rotate forward. We're gonna sink that pelvis in and we're gonna shift forward. Getting into that hip flexor. If you need to play with that front leg a little bit, you should be aligned with that ankle. Shifting. Good. We're gonna bring it back to center. I'm gonna go from the side angle. Again, everything's aligned. And we're shifting forward. Feeling it through that hip, flexor, back to center. Again, tuck that pelvis. And we're gonna drive it forward one more time. Again, connecting that breath to that stretch. Back to center. Good. Go ahead and drop. Extending that other leg up. We're in that half kneeling position. And shift forward. We're not arching, we're not pushing that pelvis forward. We're shifting that pelvis back and then driving forward. Finding that stretch. Good. Back to center. Drive it forward again. Feeling it through that hip flexor. Back to center. One more time. Good. Back to center. Go ahead and drop that knee. And that is it for our foundations class today. Nice job. You guys have a good day. Bye.